So, this is about a gardener talking to his garden. So, this gardener is quite special because he has this ability to grow not just plants and flowers, but to grow universes in his backyard, right? So, it all started with this desire within him that pushed him to plant a seed. Now, what was in this seed on an infinitely small scale was that there were elements that could nurture and help the world. On the other hand, there was also a universe of its own within this seed. So he always wondered what drove his actions, and while doing so, he spoke to the garden, asking, what is it that makes him different from the rest of the gardeners? The garden remained silent. However, in the meantime, he noticed a few weeds in the garden, and then he tried to cut them off, but these sneaky weeds kept finding their way. So he understood it's not just about planting seeds, it's also about maintaining the garden, right? So as he spent more time with the garden, as he had more conversations with the garden, the more he grew, the more he evolved, the more he understood the nature of the garden, and the more he respected the nature of the garden. Along the way, he built tools to remove these weeds, and he also built the skill of using his hands gently in the garden. Now, there was a point when the garden and the gardener couldn't interact at their best because Maya came into the play. And once Maya came into the play, the gardener couldn't distinguish between the weeds and the plants that came from the seeds that he planted, right? So he somehow tried to find a way to ground himself and connect with nature, and he asked nature, how do I deal with this? And the nature replied, ask yourself, what desires drive your actions? What desires plant your seeds? That's the root cause of any kind of idea coming to fruition, any kind of seed going into the garden. So that's the question you need to ask for each plant. And guess what? He stuck to this principle, and all the weeds were exposed, and he got his tools and he cut them off, and he had a really good garden even with Maya around. Basically, we have this magnificent gardener within us, as well as we have this garden which is everything outside us, and the relationship that we can have with each other is all grounded, can be grounded with this one question: what desire drives me to make this thought or this action or this idea? So I hope you get the whole picture. Even though it's quite abstract in this case, I hope you understand.